Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back. And Brad Jeddick's been taking long vacations, I know, away from YouTube. Not putting out a lot of content. I don't know what to say about that. It is what it is. Hopefully at some point I get back to my old ways. But I don't know. I don't know how to explain what's going on with me. So it's like I'm super tired all the time and everything, but I have no idea. I'm kind of focusing on the reseller stuff right now, trying to get that on base because I got a lot of stuff. I just keep getting stuff to flip and resell, and that's part of the thing. But part of the thing, can't talk. And but today I want to talk about something real quick because I thought about it, and I kind of did a video like this in the past, and I'm kind of going to redo the video sort of on a lighter scale, but I want to get people's comments. And if you want to go back and see the older video, I think it's on this channel. It's like really, really old. Like you would have to scroll for a long time. It's probably within the first 20 videos. And that's a lot far back. Because I think I got close to 1,000 videos now. If I've already surpassed that, I probably have. But it was about egos of bands, musicians, and how it gets in the way of the legacies of the bands. And that's not exactly what I want to talk about today. Today I kind of want to talk about bands and the way they're perceived and what happens to a band when, you know, they're out of limelight, they don't have a single for a long time. And why do people stop following them? And that's what I kind of want to discuss today. One example is Creed. So, Creed is kind of an example of the ego thing because Scott Stapp, and I'm not going to say I know everything about the situation, but he kind of got into alcohol and he had a problem. I'm not going to say he has a problem. He had an incident. There we go. Where he got drunk on stage, which it's kind of cool in a way, but in a way it's damaging to his reputation. And people want to see a show, they want to see Creed perform. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And his bandmates, I think, are I want to say kind of religious, but not to the point where probably his professionalism kind of got the best of him. His unprofessionalism got the best of him, I think. And I think there may have been a falling out because of that. But now they're kind of back together. I think half-assed back together. And people I don't think people are as excited as they were a long time ago. And it kind of baffles me because they were huge. They were up there, man. They were a huge band at the time back then. And I guess my question is, what do people not like about these bands? Like, was it the alcohol thing? Was it him doing that and Scott Stapp's reputation that has hindered Creed not getting that popularity back now that they're coming back and they've had Full Circle, which I'll admit I heard some of the songs and it wasn't the best album that I've heard from Creed, but it's probably above Human Clay, to be completely honest, because that was kind of their weaker album, I thought. And I think it's above that. So, I mean, it's not bad. It's an average album. It's a great comeback album, Full Circle. And he has another one out. I don't remember if it was under Scott Stapp or Creed, though. I think it's under Scott Stapp. Because I think he's kind of giving that. Well, I think Creed's back, but Tremonti has his thing, too. So, I think Scott's just trying to find something to fill that time. While Tremonti's doing his thing, has his band. And I think, does Ultra Bridge have some of the guys? See, like I said, I'm kind of confused about Ultra Bridge. And I thought Tremonti was a part of that, but I don't know if he is. I have no idea. I'm lost on all that situation. So, I don't know what the situation is on that. But what happened to Creed? Why aren't they super popular? Now, Guns N' Roses in general. Now, I know why that's not popular because they had a lot of things happen there. The ego of Axl Rose is unbelievable, but also the ego of Slash is unbelievable. And to know that those two people have egos, I guarantee the other two have egos. So, and I'm not saying that I know everything about Guns N' Roses, but all I'm going to say is the members that I know of, they seem to all have a huge head in terms of musical ability and knowing that they are the shit. Duff McKagan he's very, very talented. He's doing things. And I think it took a while for them to understand. I mean, until Axl tried to come back with another Guns N' Roses band, which he has. I think he won that lawsuit, or they just gave up, or whatever. I don't know what all happened with that. If anybody knows, leave a comment down below. But he has his own Guns N' Roses now that he goes on tour with. But evidently something happened, because I thought they were at the Hall of Fame or something this past year. They got inducted. I don't remember. That or Axl just wasn't there. I have no idea. Like, it's a whole big mess, Guns N' Roses is. I mean, it's a money-making venture for all. And I don't know. I thought at one point, they had made amends and was going to do a tour, but then it didn't happen. Or did it happen? Like, I'm confused about if it actually happened, because I thought they did a show, like a one-time show somewhere in California. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my ass. But a lot of comments here, people know things about this stuff. Leave it down below. But Guns N' Roses being a huge thing, another thing to comment on down below is, why do you think Axl Rose and the new group didn't get as popular as the original Guns N' Roses? Like I said, I kind of know, because they were all super talented. But the guys now, and people that were in previous lineup, at the original lineup of Guns N' Roses, like Buckethead, he's supremely talented. Like, why didn't they get over? Or like, why didn't the people, I'm using wrestling terms, why didn't they get popular? It kind of surprises me. I also talked about Days of the New in the old one, and that's a whole thing. Like, he kicked out his whole band. That's just insanity. It restarted fresh, but I understand sometimes you're just looking at a band going, why would you do that? But then again, if you like the music and it continues to sound the same, there's no reason to stop following that band, And if something happens like that where the singer has a vision and the other band members don't have that vision, then technically, if you like the other band members, follow what they're going to do and continue to follow that band, because evidently that you like their music and you should continue following it. Another one that's kind of on the flip side of that is Alice in Chains. And with Alice in Chains, they have kind of garnered popularity back, and they are getting popular again. And it took a while, I think. I think it did take a while. And I know one of the biggest reasons is that Lane Staley had a very, very charismatic just enigma about him. And for a guy to try and take over for him, and Jerry Cantrell's there, though. And Jerry Cantrell is pretty much one of the trailblazers of Alice in Chains. He's one of the main, components of Alice in Chains. If he wasn't there, then they wouldn't be anything. If he ever tries to leave, or if the other band members go on without him, then there could be a huge problem. But I think Jerry Cantrell is pretty much the granddaddy to Alice in Chains. And as long as he's still at the head, I think it's fine. And I think if something happens with the singer, Jerry Cantrell should just sing, because he's really talented in his own right. I loved Jerry Cantrell. If you've never seen or heard it, Degradation Trip, and I think there's 2 albums. I think they're both really, really good. And he's talented in his own right. So if you guys haven't checked out that, definitely check out that if you're an Alice in Chains fan. But Alice in Chains is another one of those where, why did it take so long for, popularity to jump on? Because, and even people were like playing old bar songs of the old Alice in Chains stuff when they started to come out again with the new singer. And that kind of made me wonder, like, well, why is it taking so long for them to catch traction again? And like I said, I think it's a lot of, the mainstream's not behind them. And that's one of the things. But through record release, and that's the problem of record labels, is they need to release, when they release the albums, and even bands, as they get their own labels, they need to learn how to push and let people know when the records are releasing. Release dates need to be front and center at the record stores and things like that. That would definitely help the major artists that are coming back, or who put an album after a long time. Like Tool is a perfect example, because they used to release albums like every 5 years or something. So it would be nice if they were to go, Tool has an album coming out October 23rd or something like that. I know that's not a date. I made it up. But that's something that I think that needs to be addressed with that kind of stuff in general. You know, there's nowhere where you can go and say, what albums are coming out this month? I've tried to find things online, and I know some people say, oh, well, you can go to Amazon. You can go. But that doesn't say everybody. That's the problem. Like, you can't find out if, you know, Jimmy Eats Donkey Poop, the punk band, has an album coming out, because not one place says everybody's release dates. And I think that's kind of a problem. There needs to be a website that can do that and can push it to the mainstream and let people know, you know, be able to go to some certain website and know when, you know, your favorite bands or old bands are coming on tour. And it's kind of cooler with social media. It's kind of better, but now it's just now getting to that point where almost everybody has all the forms of social media, because it's almost become like, if you want to be relevant, you have to have that. So with that, you know, Alice in Chains, you know, ooh, yeah. The big one that I don't know, it's going, and some people that don't know this, or I don't know if they're going to have a major thing with it, but Hell Yeah, they lost Vinnie Paul recently, and I don't know if they're going to go on without him with Hell Yeah, but I know they are going to finish the tour on the album they just had released, I think, with Vinnie Paul, because I think he pretty much recorded all the songs on this newest album that they have coming out. If I remember right, there may have been like one or two tracks that they maybe had to put somebody else on, but I think they pretty much got it all done. So I think they are going to go on tour with another drummer and complete that. But I don't know if they said anything about continuing after this tour with this album. But I think as Vinnie Paul would, I think he would want them to continue, because Hell Yeah was pretty much a tribute to everybody that liked Pantera and Damageplan, that showed their support over all those years, and they continue to want that kind of music. And I'm not going to say it's the same exact music, but I think it's a lot of the same people that like that kind of music. And it's kind of a rougher edge, drinking kind of band where you can go, you can have a beer, you can listen to the music, and you don't have to really get wrapped up in the lyrics as much. I think that's kind of what draws people to Hell Yeah, which, yeah, they do have great lyrics, but you just know you can get the feeling through the music and not have to worry about the lyrics. And I think that's what Pantera and that's what Damageplan, they all had in common. And I think they should continue without that, with Vinnie Paul, Dimebag, whatever. Dimebag's in spirit. But yeah, I mean, there's some other bands out there. Sublime is one of them that also brings to mind, and they're starting to gain a little bit of popularity back. But I think people are only going to know about Sublime with Rome if you really, 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 really like Sublime, because then you're going to really follow the band and continue listening to them online. And then it's going to pop up on your Google somewhere where you're looking at that Sublime with Rome is in your area doing a show, or they're going to be coming in a certain amount of months. And then you'll find out that, oh, well, the band's back together with a new singer. So that's kind of interesting to see. And he's actually really good. I don't think he completely replaces Bradley. I don't think he can do half the stuff that Bradley can do. But yet I haven't heard a whole lot from him. So I guess I gotta listen to more Sublime with Rome to know if I really like them or not. But there's some other examples out there of popularity that kind of waned in either of a replacing of a singer or a band that kind of took a long hiatus and then came back. I'm not going to go into like the hair metal bands. Even though I did talk about Guns N' Roses, technically they're a hair metal band, sort of. But anyways, I thought I'd like to talk about that. Leave comments down below about any other bands that you kind of thought, wonder why their popularity kind of went down the tubes, and maybe you know of a band and know why they went down the tubes. Leave comments down below. Let me know what you thought. I thought it was an interesting video. My glasses, very, very glary, I will say. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, all the good jazz. Catch you guys later. Leave comments down below. Let me know what you want me to talk about next. Any ideas? That'd be great. There is some album reviews I want to do, so be prepared for that. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good jazz. I'll catch you guys later. Keep rocking and keep listening to music. Later.